welcome to another miraculous day. Okay, I have been getting very um, uh, generous with just uh, sharing my journey with the world. Um, I'm about to do my own physical therapy. I've had to really take like full control, and I know people are like, well, you should have been had full control. But here's the thing: in life, there are always people who look at you, who are around you, and based on their own personal experiences, based on their own consciousness, based on their own perception, and even sometimes based on their age, because of course people who are older feel like they know everything. And nobody knows everything, okay? Nobody. And they may have different experiences, so they may have different um, insights on different things, but unless a person has lived your exact life, walked in your exact shoes, there are things that they just are not aware of because they haven't had those experiences. And, people have been looking at me with their physical eyes and passing judgment. And then there's been other people who have um, had interactions with me where I have been very strong in my communications, very articulate, and they're like, "Wait a minute, this doesn't add up. You're speaking as a woman who's already educated. You're speaking as a woman who has just had this life with support and with people who have been there, and what you are expressing about your challenges don't add up with how your demeanor is and how you are standing up and um, challenging what I am saying as this authoritative figure, you know. So that's what I've been experiencing. But I've also been experiencing some amazing, astounding things too. So bear with me a second while I put this on. This is what it looks like, right? When I first purchased this machine last year, they automatically stuck on my body. But after usage, over this past year, they don't automatically stick. So luckily, I pay attention, right? I know that I've gotten sonograms before. Obviously, I had two children full term. Um, and in sonogram, they would use a gel. And I don't know whether it was aloe gel, but I know it was a gel. And aloe gel is a pretty, I think, safe gel to use. So that helps the electricity. And the electricity is what stimulates the muscles. And stimulating the muscles allows the muscles to um, repair and grow. Muscles are very complex parts of your body. Um, and I did not know that. Like, I knew the basics. I knew, like, okay, I need my muscles to move. Ooh, I can't really move because these muscles ain't moving, you know? What I'm gonna do? I still gotta get places. So I just was like forcing without really caring for the muscles. I had to learn how the muscles actually work, and the doctor don't tell you that. The doctor is not telling you how the muscles work. The doctor's looking. Oh, this is the issue. Okay, we're gonna cut you open and Once we cut you open, that's going to fix the issue. Well, really? Because if you cut me open, you're looking to cut off parts of my body, cut off my bone, give me some artificial part. And guess what? That is just the bone. That is not the muscle. So I know you're going to cut through the muscle, but like, is that really going to help it? So, anyway, this is what I have been doing myself. This machine has different settings on it. And you see I have it already set on the legs. I normally go up to an 8. And, ooh, uh, it goes for 30 seconds. And it is working my muscles. And this is how I actively have been rehabbing myself. Now, when I tell people my days take a long time to start, they'll be like, we don't know why. It only takes me, only takes them, maybe an hour or two to get ready in the morning. But before I even get out of the bed, I have to work on me. And I have been seeing slow improvements. I have other stuff too. And I'm going to just share all of that stuff here while I talk. Here's another thing that I use to help me before I get out of bed. That's why it's like right there. And it is a massage gun, but it is an old school massage gun. So I did have a recent accident, which was in 2023, where I was a passenger on a bus that was impacted by a commercial vehicle. That impact broke off the front part of the bus and sent me as a passenger who was sitting in the front of the bus right to the ground, straight to the ground. And I initially trusted physicians with my complete care, and I sort of feel like they failed me, you know. That was not my first accident, that was actually my last accident. That strongly impacted my legs and my mobility and my day-to-day functions, you know. I don't think anybody pays attention to the fact that most of my shoes are pre-tied. Which means I tie them before I put my foot in them, or they don't have any laces at all, because there's no me putting them on and then reaching down and then tying them. Like, that doesn't happen at all. Oftentimes when I'm doing the EMS treatment like I'm doing right now, I'm also training my mind, because this goes for a whole 30 minutes. And then I do 10 minutes on my vibration plate too. So I am working at it, people. Excuse my messy dresser. I had a long, beautiful day yesterday. I feel like this is not even the clothing. Okay, now it's making contact. Let me make sure it was making contact. Um, I have shown this scar because this scar is, even though it's very old and it's kind of hard to see because it looks like a goddamn on whole stretch mark. You can show it no more. It looks different when I'm standing up and you can see like it's actual scar tissue. There's just so many things. You have your muscle, you have your fascia, you have your nerves, you have your ligaments, like all of that stuff is in repair right now. And I'm not a young whippersnapper like I used to be. So it's not like those cells are like repairing so quickly. They're taking time, but I am worth the time. I'm worth the time. Over the past decade, I've been putting more focus into myself internally. So that's why I am where I am. That's why I'm articulate. That's why I'm confident. That's why other people's opinions, even though I may notice it, it doesn't have an impact on my opinion of me because I know the work that I have been consistently doing internally. And yes, perhaps in this last year or so, I got really focused on the external. And perhaps if I didn't have that accident, I wouldn't have even been as focused as I am. I don't know. I just know where I am right now, and I am grateful. Grateful, 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 grateful to be exactly where I am. And I had an interaction. I don't know if I've shared that I wanted to go and surprise a loved one of mine's, but I did. That was my intention to do last week. And I called them. They didn't answer. I was in their city and state, which is not far from me at all. Like I could literally look out my window and see their city out my window. That's how close I am to their city. But anyway, I was just like, I didn't want to pop up because I know they be outside, like especially nice weather. I know they be outside in their wheelchair, on the park side. I know they like to get fresh air, which is good and healthy. So ironically, and this was not ironically, it wasn't even a coincidence. This was divine timing in a way that really, um, really made me value what they said, take action on what they said, because it was like, this is not an accident. And they didn't just automatically just say this out of nowhere. Like us, even into, we haven't seen each other for a year, so more than a year. And like us seeing each other. So I'm gonna tell you how we saw each other. So before, this was my plan. Before I planned to go to visit them and give them a gift of showing them love, um, I wanted to go to Central Park. And I wanted to stick my feet in the grass and just ground and commune with the earth. And this was right after the Met Gala. So it was still within 72 hours of the Met Gala. And so I specifically decided and intentionally decided to go to that particular area in Central Park. And I even went inside the Met. Now, I didn't plan to go inside the Met, but because I have learned how important hydration is, especially when your cells are repairing themselves, you need water, a lot of it. I've been being intentional about my water intake, which has been a huge challenge for me because I have a stigma about public toilets. So I avoid them. I avoid them and I pray. And I avoid them, I pray, and I must line the seat. So if the liners are there, I'm taking at least three of them and putting them on the seat. If the liners are not there, I'm taking the toilet paper and I'm lining the seat. Like, my goodies are my goodies and they are precious, and that's just how I feel about them. And I ain't got time for people that don't care the same about their goodies, okay? I ain't got time. I ain't got the time, okay? So any hoots, that's what I do, and it's a lot. It's a lot to do. You like we I'm home. I don't gotta do all of that. It's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I just pull my stuff down or lift my dress up and sit down. Now, the sitting down part is not easy, and the getting up part ain't easy at this moment. But I don't got to do all those extra steps, so I try to avoid it, and that is what has hindered me in my water consumption because I'm at school, I'm moving around, I'm not consuming a lot of fluids as I should be because I want to avoid the public bathrooms. But this particular day, last week, this was the 8th of May, a day after my 42nd B day. That particular day, I decided that I was going to hydrate. and I hydrated. And I was like, I'll be okay. You know, my whole game is tight and right, baby. I can hold, I can hold, I can hold. And that's typically what I do. You know, I hold until I get home. But I don't know how much water I drank. At least a quart, at least like 32 ounces before I even left the house. And so by the time I got to Central Park, my bladder was like, yeah. Mm-mm. And I was like, oh, shoot. What I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do. So of course, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna find a clean bathroom, I'm gonna find a clean bathroom. And ironically, I found a clean bathroom. So I went inside the Met because I had to use their restroom. And I went inside the handicap section because that was closer to where I was coming from the bus on the 79 bus crosstown that I just got off of. And when I asked them for where it was, they gave me instructions. It was like right around this corner. I turned the corner and I didn't see it. I saw another hallway. So I walked down the other hallway. And when I got to the end of the other hallway, then I found a restroom. And this restroom was off. So what I have noticed is that the restrooms that are not generally right by where the majority of people are often the cleanest because the majority of people are going to the closest restroom. I'm always going to the furthest one if I must in public, okay? Like I will walk all the way across campus to go to a clean restroom. And I have found one. I found one in my school. And that's the one I'm going to, period. I know the people who work over there. That's where I'm going. Per. So anyway, so I find one. There's liners. I take the liners down. I go. I relieve myself. I go out to the park. I have video footage of me out in the park. I don't know if I've shared it because this particular video was initially for one person. It was a message that I was sending to a person, but because it was just so um, just raw and natural, I was like, I've shared it on several of my platforms, like on my TikTok, and I shared it also on my Instagram, where I can put music behind it. I don't know if I can do that here uh, on YouTube. I have to explore that. But yeah, I have a folding chair. I need to get another one. But this one I have has been riding like a it's been riding like a motherfucker. I've had this one for at least 5 years, man. And I carefully position the bottom on it, okay? I'm seeing tears and then need to get another one. But that steel has not failed me yet, okay? So I pull out my chair. I found a spot behind the Met. I put my chair out. It's by like a lake and it's a castle in the background. It was just wonderful. I put my feet in the grass. I put my intentions. I commune with the earth. I commune with the animals. Like it was such a beautiful day. And before I had planned to visit that loved one, I also had plans to go to 100th celebration of the Schomburg museum, and I thought I was just going to like be in the history, um, see some art, see some books, listen to some information, and I didn't realize it was like a celebration. Like it was a DJ party, catered hors d'oeuvres and beverages, okay? Celebration. I ain't know it was like that. I was like, And ironically, I saw them bring it in. So, but before I even got to the Schomburg, right? I'm in the park. The park was feeling good. Like the temperature was good. The ambiance was astounding. I'm in nature. And then after I like did that personal work, it was like, oh, I got to do other work too. And I didn't even know I had to do other work. I just was literally in the moment, fully present, strolling through the park after I did that sitting and putting my feet in the grass. I was taking a casual stroll and I discovered Shakespeare in the park stage. I discovered Summit Rock. I didn't even know Summit Rock existed. So nature, oh my God, like the earth itself is alive. Like we know that it's alive. Like we know plants are alive. We know that, but how many people actually like commune with where we are living on, because we are like living on the earth. We are alive. It is alive. It is important to commune with it. Like it is so important to have a relationship with the planet. Like that's not strange. That's not strange. And I'm so happy to see more and more people. I've seen people making posts where they are talking to the trees and the trees are communicating back with them. I have plants in my house right now, which like let me know when it's time to water it. And then I have one in particular I will show you when I finish this treatment. And whoever just came in, I'm right now doing a treatment for my legs. I got 15 minutes, well, 16 minutes left. And what you hear in the background is Michael Beckwith. But I have the speaker out there because it's going into someone's subconscious. And it's going into my subconscious too. Shoot. If you can hear it in this video, it's going into yours too. But anyway, like my good brother says of the channel We Are Creators, if you don't program yourself, somebody else will program you. Okay. But anyway, back to that day, to the 8th, how magical it was. It was a magical day. It was a magical day for sure. So now I have made it to the west side because the Met is on the east side. I've made it to the west side of Central Park, aka Seneca Village. I've actually got to witness plaques where they are acknowledging and identifying Central Park as Seneca Village and expressing how from this highest peak, because that's what Summit Rock is. Summit Rock is the highest peak in Central Park. Never even knew of its existence. It was almost like the earth invited me to that special space. They say how you can see, how I can see Manhattan from where I am. From that spot, you can see where I am right now. And I was just like, oh my God. I'm so sentimental. So of course I communed with the earth some more. And then I made it to the bus stop. So the bus that runs on 8th Avenue, Century Park West is the 10, which is the same bus that goes to my family member house. So I'm on the bus, la 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 la. I got my folding chair, and I am on my way to the Schomburg. I'm like, I called her, she didn't answer. It's okay. I'm just gonna go to the Schomburg and enjoy myself. La la la. Just riding the bus on my way to the Schomburg. Guess who gets on the bus at like 120th Street? My family member with her home health aide. I see her before she gets on the bus because she gets on the bus in her motorized wheelchair. I'm like, oh my God. People on the bus see me reacting. They don't know what the hell I'm reacting of because people just always think they don't be no God. She's about to bug out. Cause I didn't took off my mask. Psh, I didn't took off my hat because I want her to see me. I was in there incognito a little bit. I have my little cute hat on. I have my little mask on because I was indoors. People be coughing and stuff. So I was like, but I was like, oh, she's gonna see my face. So she got on. She didn't see me. I'm looking at her. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm like, even though I had my stuff off, she still didn't see me. And she's telling the bus driver where she's getting off at. She's going to 145th Street. So she's going past the Schomburg. And I said, hello, Miss Such and Such. I call her name and she turned around. And she's like, I said, hi. And I go and I give her a big hug. And I had her gift with me. And so I give her her gift, and she's like, "Oh, you gonna make me cry, Takara?" And I said, "No, you gonna make me cry. Don't make me cry on this bus, you know." And we were in a moment by ourselves that was so special that maybe lasted. That was 120, so I got off at 135th Street. So, like, it only lasted maybe 5, 7 minutes, you know. But it was so amazing. It was so amazing, and she gave me some advice. She saw me with the cane, and she said, "You know what? You need to go and do this." And she said, you worked for a long time. You can you can do that. Like, you can go do this. This is going to be helpful for you. Let them know that you do intend to return to work once your legs are better, and do this in the meantime, between time. And I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And I literally just started that, which gave me the advice to do. And it just let me know, like, how fully. And then yesterday was like another one of those other magic days where it was like, you are fully loved and supported by forces I cannot physically see, but I always can feel and sense this security and love around me. And I don't know whether it's the ancestors, I don't know whether it's angels, I don't know whether it's the earth itself. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a little bit of all of that, because the earth is alive and there's energies and forces that we cannot see that is a part of this earth, you know. And then there's forces that we cannot see that's beyond it, you know. And then it's the fact we have divinity inside of us. So there's so many complexities, beautiful complexities to life. And it is not my goal to know all of them, but it is my goal to be my best me, and to serve and utilize all of the things that I have inside of me. I have multiple talents, you know, and I feel like that like that was shown to me, like, girl, what you doing over here? You can do over there and over there and over there, over there, over there. Like, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Um, I don't know if anybody has watched my other videos, but um, I didn't even know that I had the ability to do this process. But I know I had to say something, because one in particular was very unfair and unjust to me, and I just couldn't. Initially, I was like, you know, she's a black woman, you know, she's stressed, I ain't gonna take it personally. But then my spirit was like, it's not about you taking it personal, it's about standing up for what's right. And if she behaved that way towards me, how many other students did she behave this way towards? How many other students that didn't do exactly what she said, how she wanted it done, did she be like, well, I could have connected you to such and such, but I'm not. She literally told me, a grown black woman to another grown black woman. And she may be my senior by maybe 20 years, maybe more. But she looked me right in my face and told me I was being defiant to her. Are you just going to defy everything I tell you? Because I didn't put on dirty black pants to perform. Perhaps she expected me to wash these pants by clothes, but I mean by clothes, by hand. But ma'am, no, this I'm gonna wear the colors, like, compromise. Oh no. She took it personal. She took it personal. And I don't know what that was about. I don't know whether I remind her of somebody who slept with her ex-boyfriend or husband. I don't know what that animosity towards me is about. But it had to be more than just the fact that I didn't wear black pants, ma'am, or a black skirt. And I told you I got to do laundry. I'm not working. You see that I'm disabled right now, ma'am. And I have not gotten no disability check as of yet. So, ma'am, you know about my food insecurities because I mentioned it. I mentioned how I had to advocate and how I was having challenges at the food pantry. here at the institution that you work at, ma'am. So come on. Come on. You see, maybe you don't recognize because a lot of people, again, they're just looking superficially. They're not looking beneath the surface. And if they don't have experience with dealing with um, different particular things, they may not recognize it. People look at my son, they're like, oh, he's tall, he's handsome, he looks good to us. They don't know his internal challenges. And even when I communicated his internal challenges to another person who looks like, even if they have not experienced it at the level that I am experiencing it as a loved one helping a loved one having it, it looked like they may have had similar challenges. Maybe not with the same substance, but definitely because they talk about that, what you call it, too much. Like they get really excited. So it poses a question for me that's like, I know that's part of the culture, but still, like, hmm, you know, do you have that thing? Are you a functional alcoholic, ma'am? I need to know. Seriously though, like seriously, because again, why would that person? I've explained this to you. You've been interacting in the world. You deal with musicians, so you know. Unfortunately, in that particular profession, you know, especially when people reach a certain plateau, that's part of that culture. You know, it's kind of, not saying it's kind of strange, um, but it's part of that culture, unfortunately. So they've had to see people going through those challenges, but again, it was just like, well, you're still gonna get F. And I was disappointed, but I didn't know I had an option. And not only did I have an option to speak up, and not only did my spirit, because my spirit led me to speak up, and then once I spoke up, the person was like, "Well, listen, this is what you can do. You could appeal it." And I was like, "I could appeal it? I didn't even know I could appeal it. Oh, sucky." And I didn't even type the appeal. I had wrote the appeal in that department. And then I said, "It's been great. You are amazing. Deuces." Check, mate, deuces. I'm still here because this institution values me. And there's people in this institution that values me. And most importantly, I value me. And I know that people didn't know the work that I've done. I've expressed it, but they still didn't know. So luckily with these devices, I can show. I can show you. I can show you. I can show you. I got 3 minutes left. I can show you. So now, you still don't have to give a shit. This is not to make people give more shits. This is to inspire other people who are having challenges and let them know to keep on pushing forward regardless, because your wellness, your mobility, your body is your responsibility, especially as an adult. And even if you don't know what to do or how to do, you can lean into yourself. You can pray, you can meditate, you can educate yourself, you can ask questions, you can research, you can find out what to do for you. And once you find out what to do for you, you just do it. And once you do it, don't expect, oh, I did it once, I did it twice, I did it 10 times, and I still have this pain or I still have this challenge. No, keep on doing it. Keep on doing it because eventually that pain is going to be gone. The goal that you set for yourself, you are achieving. That is what's happening. So when the reason why I have a manifestation, because that's what I'm doing. I'm literally doing that in my life, and I'm doing it televised. And people may not always want to say kudos to you, kudos to me. But if they can take something, anything from what I share with my personal journey and add value to themselves with it, mission accomplished. And I may be strong and assertive, and that is okay. That doesn't make me bossy. Ooh, you seen that thing I did with the brother who slid in my DMs and then he called me a bossy bitch because I asked him a question. Listen, I don't give a shit, sir, what the hell you think about me. Because I know who the hell I am. Now, if he was a mutual friend, oh well. Because the person he was a mutual friend to, if they don't know, if you don't know me by now, then they'll take their time and get to know if they're interested in if they're not. Because somebody else will. But back to nature. No. We're not starting to stay like this. We're not. I'm not doing it. Okay. It's off. It's off. So now I'm going to take these off. And I'm going to place them back inside where they were. I'm going to disconnect them from the wires. I'm going to stick them back inside of their places. Keep them as dust free as can be. That's another thing. Where the hell does dust come from, people? Please tell me. Please tell me. Please tell me where dust comes from. It's like in the air, just where? And the second one, that's what I've been doing to keep them. Stick them together. Put them inside of here. When I tell people it takes me at least 3 hours, they're like, we don't understand. Well, you are less than a mile away. Well, I am under repair. I really, it's like beyond me how people can have machines and vehicles, and when the machine needs to be repaired, they understand, hey, I need to take it to the repair shop. And hey, it's going to take some time to repair. And hey, it's going to take some money to repair. But with a human being, they're like, you're repairing, ma'am. You are repairing. What you mean you repairing? What you mean? What you mean? Let me explain what I mean. To those who are not scientists, to those who don't have the same um physical experiences. Oh, I'm gonna explain it to you the best way I can. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a woman very determined to and who has reclaimed her body.
About anything. You know, taking care of their family, going to the beach, doing works of art.
So, here's the vibration plate. Here's step 2.
But they weren't carrying the frequency of some people that I see sometimes in the States that are so.
And then,
What's the next thing to be worried about?
how I know what I know is because I have studied. So where I particularly had the electric things are was over these muscles here and over these muscles here. These muscles here are my hugest challenge because these are the tightest muscles. And this is the structure of a muscle. So you see the structure of a muscle, you see the outside, right? But then inside of all of that, there are all of these levels. So there's the outside, the inside of that is this, the inside of that is that, the inside of that is that. Yeah, so my myofibril, and it grows from the inside out. You see, this is a whole bunch of these are inside of that. A whole bunch of that myofibril is inside of that. It's complex, people. It's complex restructuring your muscular system. It ain't no overnight thing. It ain't nothing that happens in 12 months, 24 months. We're talking about decades of damage and neglect. If I'm going to be, not decades of damage, but decades of neglect from damages and repeated damages. And inside of those muscles are these ligaments.
Can you be interested in abundance and harmonizing prosperity?
And then we have the nervous
system. Can you be interested in creativity? Can you? Will you? Now take an inhalation.
And this is where the pen is at in my body.
Shift your attention from what you don't want to
now. I'm going to get my behind on this stage. I'm not on the stage. I'm going to get my behind on this stage. I'm going to get my behind on this vibration plate.
Thy eye is single. The body shall be full of light, meaning full of luminosity and insight.
I do need to clean this up. As you see, I use this. That's why the buttons look the way they look.
You have the capacity to participate in your own unfolding. You have the capacity to pull your attention.
And then while I'm doing this, I have positive words.
But are you using that capacity? Are you exercising that capacity every single day?
I have positive visuals. I have proof of things that I've done. I was invited to be part of the voice choir for peace. This is me outside my first brick and mortar business. And look at the irony. Look at the irony. So this place, 574 Valley Road, indeed became Matcha Madness. This is how I manifested before I opened that business. But look at what it was. Can you see that? It was a music place before. So there's always been closed. So when I say I'm doing everything that I'm here to do, I'm doing everything. This is my front lawn, people. That's my front lawn. Still working on that manifestation. There's my driveway. Again, my lawn. I was in my car at the time. I drove to my front lawn. You see a butterfly and positive words. And I am a manifester, you know. My PC is behind me. I just finished putting together my my space where I'm going to be doing my podcast from. Yes, was it yesterday? No, Mother's Day. Mother's Day, that's what I did. I hung those up. I hung up that microphone, the headphones, and the tape cassette. And then you see my little area. It's chunky. It's chunky. It's chunky. If it's painful to move, you think it's not painful to be straightening up and cleaning. I got some other exercise things. They kind of got pushed over to the side, but I was utilizing them when I had more room in here. But I have all this stuff that I still have to do. And I bought a hula hoop because I am committed to learning how to use that eventually. So happy Tuesday, people. Again, hopefully somebody was inspired that wherever you are in your journey, in your personal life, to take control over your life, to do your best, to listen to your inner guidance system, and to keep on going. Because if this is the girl, oh God, I just showed you a whole bunch of junk. If I can keep her moving, not stop like the hands of time. Be silly and love the journey too. Like have fun. Do the work, but have fun also. Like, don't be like, I'm working hard. It's hard out here for a pimp when you try to pay the motherfucking rent. Like have fun. Have fun, have fun, have fun. Look at my little check right here. I put it up there just because. Just because I get checks in the mail. It's true indeed. I get checks in the mail. Look how much. This is why I didn't cash it. $1.19. You believe they printed this paper and sent me that? But they did. But that's just to let me know that one day I'll be getting royalty checks that probably will be coming direct deposit. But just in case they don't all come direct deposit, my royalty checks will be in the mail. I get checks in the mail. I get checks in the mail. I get checks in the mail. Yeah, like do affirmations. Like your thoughts, your words, all that is powerful. You are powerful. Okay? And I don't care where you at. If you stay consistent with working on yourself, you will get better and get to where you want to be. So grab my ebook. My ebook is not going to do the work for you. You got to do the work for you. But my ebook is a guide. It's good to have somebody show you the way and give you tools that you can choose how you're going to use for you. So if you watch this long, thank you. Because most people's attention span is worth. But it will get to the people that it's meant to get to. So I ain't worried about it. I post spirit inspired and spirit led. That's how I live my life, and it's working for me. So the numbers and things and the growth is not happening as fast as it's happening with those who are applying other strategies, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because when it pops, it's popping like a fucking dam breaking and the water just rushing in. That's how the abundance is rushing into my life. I could see the cracks in the dam already, and of course I'm speaking metaphorically rather, not metaphysically, metaphorically. It's a metaphor. Yeah, but I can see it, and I don't know if you've ever seen a dam bust open. I'm not me in real life, no, but I've seen it like on television. And when it's cracking, the water is like pushing through, and the crack gets bigger and bigger, and then it. That's how my abundance is happening. I know it. Like, and not just my abundance. That's like how all the blessings are happening. Because I had a sister tell me herself, like, from our 1 year professional relationship, she's seen changes. She's seen the changes in me and in my life. And I'm like, girl, I know. I feel them, like, so it's like, we good. We good, we good, we good, we good, we good, we good. And I'm good. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Give me my money, honey, and give me my respect. Or just leave me the heck alone, because I am definitely not looking. You see all the stuff I got to do for me, with me? What I give to you, the joy, the cheerfulness, the genuine love and concern and consideration and empathy. That's the divine in me. That's the God in me. Extended to you. Igniting the light and the God in you. Because you got some inside of you too. Let there be great opportunities in my life. Let there be great possibilities emerging. Get my ebook. Let there be joy. Let there be. Let there be. Let there be.